Allow me to introduce Mrs. R. Divya Karthik, who is counseling behavioral clinic. Mrs. Divya has been stressing on the need for early intervention and has been working with educational institutions and school children to tackle the problems of mental health at an early age. On the community level, she's been working on spreading awareness about social stigma and improving support system for the mentally ill. Her contributions in this regard has been recognized through the Chennai Healthcare Leadership Award 2018. And today she is going to talk about suicide and poverty, inseparable evil. You know, in India, at least 10 people kill themselves every day due to poverty. And a huge chunk of that, a major percentage of that, comprises of farmers. You know, we keep hearing this in the news that a certain number of farmers committed suicides. And after a point, I was startled to realize that maybe we are kind of getting indifferent in the sense that we realize that this happens and it's happening. And although we sympathize with the farmers, one question that pops up in almost all of our minds is, but what can we do to support them? And I believe Ms. Divya is going to throw some light on this issue and really stress on, help us realize the need, the urgency, how urgent is the need to intervene, and what can we really do about this. So on that note, let me welcome Ms. Divya Karthik, Mrs. Divya Karthik. Ms. Divya, all yours.
Thanks, Harish, for the warm welcome. And am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah. Thanks for once again for the warm welcome. So today I've been watching from the beginning, a lot of experts talks about suicide, and they have shared lots of numbers, as in the statistics report about suicides and all. So I just wanted to talk on a social perspectives about suicide and how poverty and suicide are linked. As the topic was given to me, it's about poverty. So suicidal especially நம்ம ஊர்ல வறுமையினால தற்கொலை பண்ணிக்கிறவங்க எண்ணிக்கை இருக்கு, அதுல எந்த மாற்றமும் இல்லை. ஆனா அது மட்டுமே காரணம் அப்படின்னு நம்ம சொல்ல முடியாது. அது வந்து ஒரு ரீசன் அப்படின்றத நம்ம பார்த்தோம். 6 or 7 வறுமையினால தற்கொலை பண்ணிக்கிறவங்க. So இந்த வறுமையினால தற்கொலை பண்ணிக்கிறவங்க நீங்க when you take the data, when I was looking at the data, அப்போ across India எடுத்து பார்த்தோம்னா தமிழ்நாடு is little of much higher side. ஏன் அப்படின்னா இந்த சிஸ்டம் வந்து was they இதோடைய ரொம்ப தொலைதூர பார்வையில பார்த்து இந்த வறுமை கோட்டுல இருக்கவங்களை எப்படி முன்னா கொண்டு வரணும் அப்படின்றத ஒரு 50-60 வருஷம் முன்னாடி கிளியர் பிளான் போட்டு எடுத்துட்டு வந்தாங்க. ஸோ அதுதான் இப்போ நம்ம எல்லா ஸ்டேட்டோட நம்பர்ஸும் எடுத்து பார்த்தோம்னா தமிழ்நாடுடைய நம்பர் வந்து ரொம்ப கம்மியா இருக்கு. சொல்ல போனா இதை வந்து அப்போ நம்ம மொத்த இந்தியாவுடைய கணக்கெடுப்பை எடுத்து பார்த்தோம்னா தமிழ்நாடு வந்து கொஞ்சம் நம்பர்ஸ் படி பார்த்தோம்னா கம்மியா இருக்கு. அப்போ ஏன் அது அப்படின்னு நம்ம கொஞ்சம் பின்னாடி போய் பார்த்தோம், சில ரிசர்ச் எல்லாம் பண்ணி பார்த்தோம்னா இதற்கான மெஷர்ஸ் வந்து ஒரு 50-60 இயர்ஸ் முன்னாடியே நம்ம எடுத்துருக்கோம். பாவர்ட்டி, அதாவது வறுமை கோட்டு கீழே இருக்கிறவங்களை எப்படி மேல கூப்பிட்டுட்டு வரணும் அப்படின்றதுக்காக நிறைய மெஷர்ஸ் வந்து இனிஷியல் டைம்ஸ்ல எடுத்திருக்காங்க. அதுல ரொம்ப முக்கியமான மெஷர்ஸ் நம்ம பார்த்திருப்போம், சத்துணவு. சோ அப்ப என்ன பார்த்தாங்க, இந்த மாதிரி வறுமையில இருக்கிறவங்க நிறைய பேர் சாகுறாங்க, அவங்களுடைய பொருளாதார தேவைகள் பூர்த்தி அடையிறது இல்லை, அவங்களோட வாழ்வாதாரம் ரொம்ப கஷ்டமா இருக்கும் போது அப்ப அவங்களுக்கு வேலை வாய்ப்புகள் கொடுக்கணும், குழந்தைங்களுக்கு படிப்பு கொடுக்கணும் அப்படின்ற போது அதை ஃபோக்கஸ் பண்ணி அவங்க ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ண மெஷர்ஸ் எல்லாம் இன்னைக்கு இஸ் கிவிங் அஸ் தி ஹீல்டு. அதுதான் உண்மை. எப்படி கொடுத்துருக்காங்கன்னா, நீங்க இனிஷியல் ஸ்டார்டிங் காமராஜர் பீரியட்ல இருந்து எடுத்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா, குழந்தைங்களுக்கு கல்வி கொடுத்தாங்க. அப்போ சாப்பாடு இல்லாம ஸ்கூலுக்கு போகல, அப்ப சாப்பாடு கொடுத்தாங்க. அப்பவும் சத்தான சாப்பாடு கொடுத்தாங்க. அதுக்கப்புறம் இப்போ இருக்கிற அம்மா உணவகம் வரைக்கும் இது எல்லாமே எதை ஃபோக்கஸ் பண்ணுச்சுன்னா, கொஞ்சம் வறுமைக்கு. When compared to other states, Tamil Nadu has done extensive work on preventive, especially bringing people from the poverty level. So the few measures was taken, like giving a meal so that children can come to school, and this steps has taken a massive effect on today's scenario. The same thing happened with the ration, giving the basic needs for the people so that they can come and think about their other needs. A lot of times, even if you see in today's cinema, people talking more about freebies and all. Okay, so see, freebies you just can't take granted and talk like that, because what they have forecasted is, if you satisfy the basic needs like food, the shelter. We have a lot of housing board concepts has come in last 50 years. So food, shelter, so which will enable the people to think about the next level for their livelihood. So what I found was, yes, Tamil Nadu being a very forecasted one, and done a massive work in the numbers. Yes, we have crossed when compared to the north, especially Maharashtra. So the research says, as of 2014, in Maharashtra alone, more than 60,000 suicide has taken place, with an average of 165 suicides every day, which means we are losing the farmers. So India being close to 70% of its national income comes from agriculture, we're losing 165 farmers in a day, which was an alarm, right? So NCRB report says the total close to 3 lakh Indian, nearly 3 lakh Indian farmers has committed suicide since 1995. So what happens is, from the government side, I see this as a community role and the government role. So from the government side, people have taken need to take on big measures to bring people from the low background. One. And yes, from Tamil Nadu perspective, yes, we have done that massive work. As I was telling earlier, the freebies that we talk about, it's not something that we can comment easily, because that has brought a lot of people to go to the next level. Say, like the from poor to a middle class families. So that is one fact that we cannot deny about it. And there was other research that it says, when it comes to, as Harish was talking, the farmer suicide, the one major reason, the first reason is being a high debt burden. That the farmers was not able to repay the loan that they've got it. And number two, being a poor government policies, corruptions and subsidies, crop failures, public mental health, and personal and family problems has been are the few reasons that we see it from the facts about these suicides among poverty group. But for a fact, not everybody who's in the poverty line commits suicides. We all know, right? We can see suicides taking place across all levels. Take, for example, the Sushant suicide, or for that matter, anybody who's from a celebrity category. Not the only financial reasons is for the causes for the suicide. See, as I was telling you, one is from the government side, and number two is from the community side. How are we treating people around us? For instance, I just want to share this experience with you. We keep talking about suicide from the mental health perspective, preventing suicide every year. wherever we get a stage, we talk, we shout about it. But we've also seen people talking, why do you talk, negatives? So that is the perspective that we have it from the community perspective, right? So I think that's when we, even wanted to shout more about the causes of suicide. It's just not from the belief system. That's what I feel from the community side. And number two, there was an incident, the celebrity who committed suicide. When we did a detailed report about it, and we found the celebrity was, her status was, I need to die, something like that, and that was there for a week's time. And imagine what kind of community that we are in. So when someone is having a status that, that's something that they don't want to live in this world, and nobody even bothered to talk about it, or even just someone could have taken her for a professional help, or they should have done some first aid, no? So from the government sides and from the community sides, that we need to create more awareness about it, to bring up people. So I think we need to work more on these policies and all. Though we have a few policies in place, that has to get enriched. Even now, people talking about canceling ration, or canceling the mid-meal for the children. So these are absolutely not a right idea, especially country like India. We still are in the developing uh, sector. So these are the few points that I need to keep in front. And from Harish, if at all, if any questions, and we can go ahead with the question and answers.
Yes, yes, surely. The freebies, right? Everybody had a certain sarcastic opinion about government giving out the freebies, making their citizens lazy and all that. So that is how people looked at it, sometimes including me. So when you said that, it kind of gave me a different perspective, that it's actually helping people who really need, and from the point of view of this uh, poverty, making them commit suicides. I think this is going to be a really great help from government to such people.
Yes.
So that was one new perspective that you brought forth.
See, yeah, is actually we need to even give more thought about it, I would say, because when someone says it's government money, it's our money, and people are giving for for people who don't deserve, and we also see people saying after getting these freebies, they just become lazy. See, these are all, it's not something that a proven theory. Maybe one or two might be there, but we have to take into the consideration how many people have benefited. We've seen, in urban areas, urban sectors, in a city size, there's lakhs and lakhs of families who survives based on the ration products.
Correct.
It comes to a rural side, yes, this is the truth. We have to accept it, and we have to go ahead with this till the point that we reach that yes, everyone has an equal sharing of it. So so when you see the Western countries, the developed countries, uh, though they have these suicidal rates and all, but because of poverty, the numbers is very, very, very less. Because the government ensures that everybody gets their, the food, shelter, or the basic needs of the people, right? So I think, by considering these facts, the government has taken these measures, and yes, that for a fact that it has to enriched in terms of implementing these policies, reaching to the right people and all, that has to monitored and enriched. I would say it again has, comes under the community mental health. People should have their own responsibility. We have seen citizens who are getting rations, who is an owner of 2-3 houses. Still, so see, that number may be very, or in a low number, but I think we should consider the positive side of it.
Got that. And when you mentioned Western countries, the reason for suicide in those countries is it is not because they have other reasons than poverty. So I was just thinking, like, isn't there a disparity? Because now you're saying that they have the basic needs being taken care of, and yet there is a suicide. So is there?
See, yes, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So whether you take care of, I'm just trying to take the conversation forward. Whether you take care of the basic needs or not, is this suicidal thought coming from somewhere else? So has this, poverty got really? Does it have anything to do with this? Just trying to take it forward.
So as most of us know, suicidal is something to do with their mental health, mental illness. It has to be it can be prevented one, and if at all if someone has this thought, that has to be treated. Fine. So there are a lot of reasons, as Dr. Kishore was, telling us or giving more information. What are the causes? What can be the reasons? So poverty is only one reason. When you get into the Western countries, they have the reasons because of the depressions, because of any other mental illness, the suicides happening, but not on, the number is not big on poverty, is what I wanted to mention. Because even if someone loses their job, the government is ready to take care of them right from the day one. So now the major threat that I've been something going in my mind for all these days, especially in this lockdown. So we're talking more about poverty and suicide. The number is not very much big when compared to the middle class and higher class or any other mental illness. But now, being into the lockdown, and because of our economy is going down, a lot of people are losing jobs, the financial crisis are going to crunch, and all these reasons. Okay, I wanted to, people who are watching this, I wanted to insist or inform you, the rate may increase, as you and me, when it comes to our community mental health, how many people that I can reach it. So, but this is something that more important to get aware about it, and help people who are near to us. Because when you see someone who is very someone who doesn't have money, it's very rare that they get into the suicidal thought. See, they may die because of the malnutrition, because of the hunger, or because of any illness, any sorts of problems. But the basic urge is to, they want to survive. For the survival, they do something, the very basic work, or even for that matter, begging. But when you come to the lower middle class, or upper middle class, or a middle class segment, we are all restricted to all this. We don't get or seek help immediately. One is the stigma that we hold, and number two, reaching people for their help. We somehow consider that is something disrespect that we have, or there's a lot of other factors involved in it. So now the point that we need to consider, or we need to be taken care to prevent a lot of life, is after the lockdown, or after the economy, it will take a little time, is it? So during those times, we shouldn't be losing anyone.
So, which brings us to the last point that you had mentioned about being going out and connecting with people and not being insensitive. With you were citing an example of a lady putting out on social media that she's going to kill herself, but and that status was there for some time, for a few days or something. So here's what you're suggesting, that more and more people are going to are now vulnerable. So it's in our best interest of society. You suggest that we go out and be available for them, right?
Yes, for that also, as most of people here knew that we don't have enough mental health professionals available in India, and it's very hard that we go ahead and find out our screening process. No, nothing could happen. It's only the people who are nearby. When you talk to your friend or people, your near dear ones who's telling that they have these kind of thoughts. It is through you only we can we can hit more number and prevent this and save more life. We've in fact we would have seen this the family who committed suicide. They burned themselves few years back, I think 2 years back, in front of the commissioner office. So I think this is the community that we live. Now we are in the point that we need to grow our compassion towards other fellow member. So the more the government brings up the policies, the more the community come get closer and do a lot of other stuffs. Only then we can at least prevent more lives. I think that's the area that we need to work on it.
Got that. So I have a few questions.
Yeah.
I'm going to read it out to you. So the first question is, how do you see suicide from a community mental health as well as from a clinical perspective?
So as I was telling you, as a mental health professional, the number what we have it in India is very low. It is someone who complains about the suicide. Please take them to the experts. Give them the correct first aid. So in mental health, what we call it as first aid is like to prevent suicides. If someone having this thought or someone who's attempted, they has to given a counseling. That if in case if needed, we would get into the medication as well. So only with this community help and with the clinical help, this can be prevented completely, I feel.
Okay. So the next question is, what are your thoughts on farmer suicides? How can they be prevented?
Okay, so we were discussing about the farmers, a few minutes back. There was a lot in Maharashtra in 2018. We all know there was a huge rally happened, and even from Tamil Nadu, there's a farmer who went, the group of farmers who went to Delhi and for the waiver of their loans. Okay, see, when it comes to the farmer as such, we have to see it on a macro level. The macro level, right from the administrations, government policies, the farmer's product has to reach the direct to the customer so that the farmers is not getting burdened. All these has to happen not on a micro level, but this has to happen on a macro level. So if that is the case, we should have a proper government. The government who is insist or interested to the welfare of the farmer is more important. That's what I said initially. When it comes to a Tamil Nadu, yes, we have done a lot of the groundwork uh, uh, in terms of distributions of land. In terms of their basic needs. In fact, in Tamil Nadu we had a lot of number of instances that farmers' loans has been waived. But yeah, when as a government policies and the administration has to change or bring more involvement to uplift their lives as well.
Great. And on a micro level, do you think what is that one or two actions that you and I
on a micro level, this is personally I have a belief. I don't know how others will take. See, when you buy a product, get it from direct from farmers. Now we are come to a society where we get into the supermarket and we don't even mind of spending extra rupees and give to them, and we don't, nobody even bothered about it. But when it ends, when it reaches the farmers, it's nothing for them. It's just the few pennies that he had spent. So at a micro level, get near to the farmers, get vegetables or fruits who's near. You would have seen a lot of vendors, the vegetable vendors. They are not the multi billionaire. All they are struggling is for their livelihood. Even if you see it from the poverty perspective, this is the one way of eradicating it. So now we don't mind of getting spending few thousands on this basket or Amazon or any, for that matter, any retail showrooms. But I think at a micro level, these are the few things that we need to step in. But there are a lot of other NGOs who comes from it, and there's others people also, for that matter, they get direct to the farmers and they help them to bring their products. So these are the few ways that we as a citizens can help them.
Can you share some of those NGOs or any group say that's doing this, like who's connecting the people with farmers so they could buy directly from farmers?
There's a lot of Vivasaya Sangam, for that matter. There's a lot of, if you could see, even in cities that we have, there's some particular place where the farmers directly comes there and sells their products. So these are the few ways that you can be little motivating for them, to end of the day, it's a matter of their own livelihood that day for that meal. So how much of difference that we make is what matters.
So from this perspective, what you're suggesting is transact directly with them and transact with people who are in less, below poverty.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe also when you ask, I think that is now triggering. There are a lot of other ways that we can be, and very innovative ways of helping them, ways of saving their life.
Great. So I have the third question with me. I'm going to read it out to you. So during the COVID pandemic socio-economic issue, so during the COVID pandemic socio-economic issue, are EB worse? Is there something that the public and government can do to help that situation?
Yeah, that's what I was telling before. In fact, when we started this isolation or quarantine, in a month's time, there's a lot of people who was a little worried about it. What is going to happen for their job? What is because of the financial burdens that they have. And even now we've seen a lot of companies have started taking half salary. And there's a lot of people who've been forced to resign. And because of the business economy affected, a lot of things are happening in and around. So there's from two perspectives. From the government side, a government has to take more measures on it. I think it's only a few days back, government has announced banks not to insist more on their repayment of loan, at least for the year's time. See, these are all the few struggles. For some, it might be no easy. For some, for them they can handle it. They will have some properties, or they will have a courage to face it legally or whatever. But there are few, at least a major chunk of people who thinks this as a major stress. Especially in terms of financial burdens, in terms of losing their jobs, in terms of having no jobs, sitting idle at home. These are the few factors. At one point in time, there is a chance that they get into these kind of thoughts. So it is not something bad to talk about it. It is a need of the hour to talk about it, because they are not the only, they have almost the entire country is in the same position, right? So from government perspective, yes, government has to take these decisions From an individual perspective, I would say, if you are having an extra, the penny or extra lavishness that you can spend, please help near one, who is in your own community, who struggles for the food, who struggles for, not only in terms of their materialistic, in terms of their, giving courage to them, talking about their problems. As I was telling you earlier, not all the doctors can reach people. So it's like, people who are near and dear ones can talk about it, and they can, give more awareness as what's going to happen from the economic perspective, what's going to happen from the government perspective. Get informed. What's going to happen from the medical perspective? Are we going to, get the vaccination on place on the right time? Or, what all these are the few things that, we need to talk more about it to bring more clarity with people.
Great. So, talk more about it, create more awareness, and if possible, create new innovative job opportunities.
Yes, because of late that, especially in this 4 months, whenever that I talk to people, or the clients that we receive, it's not only in terms of, the mental health depression, but in terms of their lack of awareness of what's happening. There are people, there are students who are not able to repay their education loans. At their level, they may not be having a courage to tell, hey boss, look, I still not have got the job, so I'll be back. So these are all the few things that we from the community side, we need to, talk more about it and bring more awareness, and also update not only the numbers of getting affected on a daily basis, but then the changes the government has brought, the policy, at a policy level the government has brought. At an individual level, if you are able to afford it, anything at, something that is in your disposal, that you can share it, spread it to people. We have also seen on a very positive note when lot of migrant workers moved from their own cities to their own village. A lot of people came forward and helped them in terms of food, in terms of their travel, but still there's a big number people who have moved with a huge struggle. I think as a community, we have to change our perspective, because something we are in a pandemic, and so we have to open and see things on a broader level.
So, one last question, and so I'm going to read out to you. How can we identify the case, or what are the indications of suicide?
Okay. See, maybe by this time, a lot of people also spoke about it. So yeah. So the very basic, as a common man, as a layman, from a mental health perspective, of course, people would have trained for it. But from a layman perspective, if someone talks about it, don't ignore it. If someone who's who says, I don't have hope in life, or who's very there is two ways of looking at it. One is a momentary, that moment they take the decision, and they get into it. But there are certain suicides, even a single life is more important for us, right? From the community perspective, the resource that the society loses is in huge numbers. So when someone talks about it, don't ignore it. A lot of times what people say, if someone talks about it, making fun of them, or giving a wrong idea about the whole thing, is not going to work on it.
Yes, go ahead.
They can reach out at least to a community worker, at least as in the social worker. Why I say? Because their number will be available from the community perspective. So from the low background, financial background, people can reach the social workers, and if at all, if it is needed, that they should get into the treatment.
Got that. Thank you so much, Ma'am, that was a really valuable talk from you. And thank you for answering all the questions. I'm sure a lot of people benefited today. And if you have anything more to say, we could.
Nothing, Harish. Thank you so much having me here. And yes, the one last thing I wanted to say, we have to talk more about it. There is nothing, that someone should feel bad about it or negative vibration. It's nothing like that. So everybody at some point in their life, they will get this kind of thoughts. So if you're getting, or if the people who's near getting this kind of thoughts, the reason may be anything. Just talk to them and help them to get a professional help. That way we can, the prevent suicides at a macro level in a larger number. Thanks.